A rich family legacy of American roots music is just the tip of the iceberg for the Allman Betts Band, and Charleston audiences will soon be treated to an extraordinary night at the Refinery next month. Joining us on our Spotlight Music series is Devin Allman, guitarist and vocals for the Allman Betts Band. So happy to have you with us. Thank you for taking the time.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I suppose you could have been a doctor or a lawyer, but with the name Allman, you didn't have much of a choice.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you always have a choice. I was coming through high school thinking it would be theater. I really liked dramatics and production and acting and theater. But once I went on the road with the Allman Brothers, I was 17, 18 years old, and kind of went on that tour to decide what I wanted to do. Like, I'm gonna go live it with my dad and see if I can handle this.
Yeah, sure.
And I really loved it. It's a next level kind of magic when you're making music for people.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it certainly looks good on you. And, in all seriousness, you'd be doing us a disservice without your music, because it's unique, it's your own, it's fantastic, and it really puts a fresh spin on the Southern rock, blues, the classic rock sound. So how did you find kind of your niche within the landscape?
Well, thankfully, Dwayne Betts and I, kind of being on those tours as youngsters, and we would run into each other on tour. Like, he'd pop up backstage in England, or like we'd be on the same festival in Australia or whatever. And once we had the idea to put this band together, the first thing we did was we really talked a lot about what kind of record we would want to make and where we would want ourselves to fit, and wondered if we would even have chemistry being in a band together and writing songs together. Yeah. Because you can put an Allman and a Betts together. You could put, if it was Keith Richards and Mick Jagger's kid, but they would have to have chemistry, true chemistry. So the first step was like, we have to make sure we have that, because if we don't have a band, we don't have anything. And we did. And we had a lot of similar influences. I think you can hear a lot of, some Rolling Stones in there and some Americana, and, there's other flourishes besides like Allman Brothers or Southern rock.
Oh, totally, totally. Who else would you say are some of your influences? Because from what I understand, you kind of dip into even Cream and some of these other fantastic bands.
Yeah, I mean, we dug all the big classic rock bands. The Stones, Cream, Pink Floyd. Just down the line, Derek and the Dominoes. Oh, yeah. The Clapton stuff.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. I mean, the Doors, those are all those, the Doors, Pink Floyd, Stones, like the Grateful Dead. I mean, that's kind of the love language of the Allman Betts Band for sure.
Yeah. How different is it? I have to ask you this, because I had the opportunity of asking John Oates of Hall & Oates the same question, but how has it changed making music, putting out records today as it was back when the Allman Brothers were writing songs and putting out records?
I mean, the main difference is the world is moving a lot quicker. The world is more connected. There's a lot more distractions. Mm-hmm. We really, our phones are the new televisions, right? Everybody's on their phone.
That's right.
Everybody's on their phone. And everybody used to be around their TV. If they weren't at work, they had the TV on, they were eating dinner around the TV. After dinner, they would watch TV until they went to bed. They'd wake up in the morning, they'd turn the news on the TV. TV was everything. And now it's like the phones. So the big difference is, back then, people really had the time and the energy and the wherewithal to fall in love with a vinyl record. Yeah. There's a certain smell to it. You can read the lyrics, you can look at the bigger pictures, because it's and thankfully there's a resurgence on that art form, not only for the sonic beauty of a vinyl record, but the experience.
Also, and the artwork, the cover artwork.
Yeah, which I mentioned. It's all encompassing thing.
That's right.
And I think it's a little bit tougher now, but the good news is that the people that are still into it to that degree, they kind of filter down, and who the real music freaks are.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. So tell us about some of your latest work. What are you working on now? What have you recently put out? And what are you going to be performing when you come here to Charleston?
Well, I'm actually on tour right now. I'm in a Frank Zappa themed hotel room in
I love it.
Hanover, Germany today. Yeah,
Oh,
and we
amazing.
play show. We play the show in a couple hours. I make about a record every year or two. I just wrapped a record that comes out in July called Blues Summit, and it features legendary Jimmy Hall from Wet Willie. We've got Kingfish, Christone Kingfish Ingram on a track. We got Robert Randolph on a track. That's going to tour in America and Europe, the end of this year and beginning of next. But, Allman Betts, this tour is called the Lucky Sevens Tour because we're a seven-piece band and this is our seventh year in existence.
Oh, wow.
So it's a celebratory kind of reunion tour. We don't, do the band full time as much anymore. We really like to do other projects and kind of, move around and keep things fresh. But Allman Betts will do that. We will do the revival again this year, and that's the show Allman Betts Family Revival between Thanksgiving and Christmas that where we salute the Allman Brothers and
Fantastic.
their body of work. So yeah, but Charleston's always been a hot spot for us. Like I think the last time or the time before, we were in the gig, and I'm like. I look over on the side of the stage during the gig, and Bill Murray was watching the show, which
It's a
I
trip,
know
right?
he has some magical appearances in Charleston, but that was really cool, and the crowds are always great. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, and then you've got the 2026 Big Easy Cruise that's happening next year, so that's going to be really exciting. Well, the Allman Betts Band Lucky Sevens Tour, Friday, June 6th at 7:30 at the Refinery. So excited to have you come back to the Holy City. Thank you so much, Devin, for joining us. And after the break, we're going to hear your song, Pale Horse Rider. Can't wait. Thanks
perfect.
again.
Thank you. Bye bye.
We'll be back after this.